Yeah, well, it's February 25th. 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2, baby.
This is the defendant lobby, all right. But there's no defendant.
You sound so clear, Phoenix.
I took a nice hot bath, got my sinuses cleared.
Oh, this whole time. All these months.
He's had a stuffy nose for a year. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if...
It's a trap!
What the fuck?
Something's been
happening behind the scenes.
That'll
It's
work.
0.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, no. It's Edgeworth.
Knowing you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7 ID number is, that is.
It's me!
No.
I think you missed a few 7s.
Alright, 49, whatever.
Yeah.
That's square root of 7.
I mean,
not
it's 7
true.
7s, so it checks out mathematically. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Did we make that joke last time?
Probably. It's my go-to joke.
It looks like I'm not the only one who has a hunch.
Yeah.
You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
Except being handsome.
Wait, that's not my ID.
You narcissist.
Phoenix.
You sly dog.
True, not yet.
In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright, and Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty.
But she didn't do it.
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say.
This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her.
The truth?
The truth!
Gumshoe. He's just like hiding in the plant in the background.
I've been fired and I had to get a job as a plant.
Is that the same plant from your office?
Water me, I'm thirsty.
Always thirsty. Tisk tisk. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today is the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past.
Remember when I saved you that one time when you were gonna be guilty? That
I don't
was
have
good.
time to reminisce about
No,
the
but
trial.
you owe me.
Do you remember when I saved you in court by talking about a past case?
Oh,
I don't remember.
Alright, fine. Well, that depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it. See you in court, Wright? I'm suing you.
What?
What? For being too handsome? I see how it is.
For calling someone else handsome.
Oh no.
Against the law.
I mean, what kind of a court is this where I can't compliment every guy's level of handsomeness?
Have you ever heard of consent?
Communism.
This will give them something to talk about. This is it. If I'm ever gonna find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now.
Oh God.
Hey, guess what?
Wait, yeah.
What?
No.
Okay, well, you
I want to
got
know who's guessing though.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
it. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The readiest prosecution. I mean, yeah, never mind.
The honor is prosecution ready.
Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
Chief Gant.
You called?
It just fades in.
Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, G. Been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my own work. That's a good one. Don't think I can top that.
If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Any day now.
Lana, this is to say, the defendant has asked me if she could speak directly to the court.
She wants to do what?
Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Trouble.
Trouble. What's this all about, defendant?
I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana.
Oh, this was a short session.
Wow.
This is a good final case.
It just
Wraps
ends
up
like,
quickly.
oh,
Credits.
interesting.
You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services.
But Lana,
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Looks like you're out of the job, right?
no.
Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial. Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise, it's like, oh, it's my job.
I don't care about her. I need the money. I can't pay rent.
I have to feed Charlie. He needs water.
This can't be happening.
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Objection.
Thank you.
How did you know?
It just happened a couple times now.
He read the script.
Shoot. One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature.
Come now, Worthy. I ate her. I understand this is a difficult time for you.
No.
But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, hmm?
I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant.
What?
Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be.
We get to play as the villain this time.
Oh, with this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
Some kind of deal, hmm? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
Oh, sure, I'm not mad. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh? To whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony.
Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue.
Continue?
Continue.
Do you want to continue that thought?
No, I wish to continue it.
No, please continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye.
Oh, dang!
I'm a villain.
Oh, dang.
The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
We'll always look at the explosion.
Yes.
Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words.
Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins.
I'm not a horse.
You want to
Now
carry
then.
your little horse?
Want to eat the sugar cubes from my hand? There you go.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yeah. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. No thanks to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That sucks.
Oh.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
I can't believe I used to like you.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. And it is an incident that has resolved 2 years ago. Really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Whoa, okay then.
He sure gave in fast.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesteryear has finally begun.
The acid kicked in.
I'm dripping balls, yo. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial.
Oh, yo, finally, I get a testimony. I was waiting in my sister's office that day, and a man came running in, and he took me hostage, and Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what he saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife, and he stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
I don't know. Just want to make her remember it again.
This is fun to me.
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
I'm not a parent.
You will soon become apparent.
No!
Oh no.
What does that mean? Oh.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
He's getting cross with me, huh? Well, I was waiting in my sister's office that day.
No, you weren't.
Oh!
I mean, I wasn't there. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct?
Yeah, she was second in command under the Deputy Chief of Police, Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair.
I believe they shared the same office.
That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing the organ. I wanted to play it that day too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. We were gonna get burgers.
Wait, burgers?
Yeah, and a man came running in and he took me hostage.
But did you get those burgers?
I don't remember.
Okay. No further questions.
This case is settled, bud.
A man?
Yeah, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer.
Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest.
When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right?
Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gant's office.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me.
What was the prosecutor doing there?
That day, there were two people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Almost forgot about Gant.
Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after dark.
When Dark
After
grabbed
dark.
me.
Haha.
Oh, that's funny, but I'm traumatized, so stop.
Oh, sorry.
I thought I was good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in?
I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'm pretty sure he but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant.
Can you tell us about that?
No.
Go on.
Oh, okay. Mr. Marshall, he jumped on Drake, and just then, the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby. Someone angered Zeus.
And then along came Zeus.
He hurled his lightning bolt.
So the electricity went out.
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then, lightning flashed again outside. Thanks, Zeus. Then sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yeah, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective John Goodman, the victim.
Stop.
Just stop, I don't want to hear.
Silence.
Let's hear some more. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw.
Yeah, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
Picture. Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
I'm an artist.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
Let's ask about the picture.
Stop.
Stop!
Please stop. She's a child.
Oh.
This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning.
No. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Who's on the back?
Oh, my bad. Carry on.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yeah, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost.
You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yeah, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes. Ah!
That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died. Yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken. I don't
Perhaps
see when I
you're
close
being-
my eyes.
More like you got catfished, yo.
Oh,
But I did draw it. I swear, I'm not imagining it.
I used my best crayons. This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again.
well, anyway, let's continue. This scene that imprinted an image in your mind. Can you please describe it to us?
The man of Medan. The man rised up with his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
That must have been a real shock.
Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly. I stop blinking, it hurts.
Tell us.
No,
Tell us! What were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage.
when lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Drake. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I think.
Andre.
Drake?
Huh?
She's clearly
Bell.
making stuff up.
I'm pretty sure I was watching them. Like a creep.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie.
Like a
Maybe
creep.
she's just stupid.
That's yeah.
But Lana sure does. Need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can.
And then, yeah, the stuff, but let's look at the picture I think I drew.
There it is. She drew an evidence list.
I knew it.
Picture is drawn on the back of the evidence list in magic marker. It's magic.
Oh.
I've got a very bad feeling about this.
I was joking, but we were right. It's on the back. Let's see. I drew a picture of that.
You mean this picture?
I object, except I don't, because what I'm about to share agrees with that statement. So I guess I'm objecting Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture,
Don't laugh at it.
and yet you would insist on denying its existence?
I haven't seen it. Chill. Hey, I'm not the bad guy. Scowls like a
He
bad
wouldn't
guy.
even retweet it.
All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I didn't think that picture was very good.
Oh!
I wasn't handed such a picture. I would never.
Could at least liked it.
No.
The only people who don't like it have never seen it.
Why'd you block me?
Kept getting these weird requests. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold!
This is a shopping list.
Milk, eggs, cheese.
Shopping list for a murder.
I had this evidence list for the SR9 incident.
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
You're telling me he never turned it over once when he had it? Not
Well,
once.
he never had
No
it.
one does that.
He never had it at all.
Okay, well, I'll turn it Oh! What's this?
It's horrifying!
Oh, what am I looking at?
It's graphic.
It's art.
That's. Well, what is that? It's not art.
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Ooh, it's gross. Yo.
Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here, I think.
What's the meaning of this? I think they're dancing. What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Oh. These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
One of them has a picture on the back.
No.
Dummy. It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened 2 years ago. Only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you.
What? What?
Order, order. But, Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman sucked.
Right?
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor?
Are you all right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. Oh!
Wow! If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
No.
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth.
No. It's possible. Let's see.
It tastes good.
It's a lot of chocolate.
Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask?
Sorry, Your Honor.
What's that
No,
smell?
there's nothing on the back.
Look, there's nothing on the back, see?
Oh, dang.
There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list.
Oh, dang.
It's a 3-sided piece of paper.
What?
It's that thing! Ah!
The specter of death.
That thing. That thing was in the dancing in the evidence room.
Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives.
It's a threat.
I guess he was out of scrap paper.
Hey, you finished it. It's taped. Look at it.
Yay.
Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma?
Nothing's wrong with you.
She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture.
What's wrong with your picture, Emma?
This is a picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Don't cross me, bro. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago.
I'm crossing you.
No.
Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye.
2 or 3 days later. The memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
It's my artistic liberty, okay? I mean, the flash lightning was bright, so shadows, I didn't have any other colored crayons.
That's fair.
So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue?
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor?
Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away like that. Ow. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt.
I just said ow.
Well, you know.
What happened after the lightning flashed?
After that, I must have fainted.
You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No, I'm sorry. I'll try better next time.
No, don't.
Oh.
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further?
Yeah.
Like asking her what happened that night?
What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here.
You're rude, Phoenix.
Yeah, why
I'm
would you do
Blue.
that?
Blue is good guy.
Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
Wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives?
Hey, are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
No, of course not. You better watch out or you might find some way to cut my salary.
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well... We need to cover it in luminol. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here.
Yeah, what's the contradiction though, genius?
There's a badger on it.
That's true. Let's see. Neil Marshall, date of birth, cause death, sickles, wound, piercing, heart, lung. Okay. Where's that thing I was gonna look? Why do we still need this? Is this the one? No. Where's the evidence thing? There it is.
Yeah, it's got put together.
Woo! You gotta tilt your head.
Wasn't actually the blue badger. There was a giant jellyfish-like alien floating in the sky.
It's true.
Gosh.
Guess we can present this. Oh no.
No, that's not it.
Oh no,
This evidence
please.
clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor.
That is the evidence, you idiot!
They aren't. Oh, well.
Penalty! Think before you speak, punk.
He just, like, comes down from the stand and just knees Phoenix in the chest.
Toya!
Well, let's see. Just gonna look at the picture and be like, well, is he left-handed? Because the picture looks like he's
Yeah.
left-handed.
Is that not, like, every Phoenix Wright case where you have to bring up, like, the, is he left-handed or right-handed? Is the badger left-handed or right-handed?
That's strange. She claims it's exactly the scene that was pretty mean, and yet there's clearly a contradiction here.
I mean,
Maybe it's like a left-handed knife. They make
my
those.
voice sounds a little different in my head, I guess.
Not that one. Where's the other knife? There it is.
Yeah, there's the broken knife.
So I have the guide open.
That didn't take long.
The first one was kind of a freebie, but now it's like, all right, now you have to think about it.
Uh-huh.
So should we look at Neil's autopsy report?
Let's see. Date and time, death, February 19th. 7 p.m. to 7:30. Single stab wound piercing heart and lung. Died from blood loss in under 10 minutes. Weapon found and wound was missing tip.
So I saw in the preview for this thing right here, stabbed in the back.
Oh.
That
Is that
weird.
the problem here? Yeah.
Stabbed in the back and then he died.
Yeah,
from a
she
wound.
said he was stabbed in the chest during her testimony.
Did she?
In this case, it says you just presented
No.
on that last statement right there.
Okay. Took the long way out. There we go. Haha! I don't know what I contradicted.
Got him.
Yeah, that was tricky because I was thinking about that. How she said stabbed in the chest, and I was looking at the angle, and I was like, "Wait a minute,"
Mm,
but I forgot. 'cause
Yeah,
it
it's a
was
subtle
funny.
thing.
Yep. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
Is garbage.
What?
In this picture, they're dancing.
But no. I remember it. They were wrestling.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy?
Oh shoot.
yeah, you better be right about this chest thing. It does look like he's going for the back because his arm's forward, so yeah.
So don't.
I think it's this part here.
I don't see what's so strange about that.
That's because the drawing stinks.
Oh.
He
I said it
actually
better
said it.
myself.
The bad
Rude.
lad.
Mr. Wright, how could you?
The act of making an innocent girl cry should warrant the death penalty.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I guess he means I shouldn't shift the blame to others.
I'll buy you dinner after, though. That's great.
Yes, well, so long as the defense has learned his lesson.
I'd better take another look at that autopsy report in this picture.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction to us. So, yeah, what is it?
Is it the hand?
I
So
just
maybe
said
it's
it.
not the chest back thing, because it says, point
Yeah.
to the tip of the weapon.
Okay, that's fair as well. The contradiction, of course, lies here.
Then why would we trust it?
Shut up. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. Or it's
Oh,
a
I just-
box cutter.
I was gonna say it's an artistic interpretation.
I would have, been fine with that.
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too, wink.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Ow.
It is that simple. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem?
Obviously, this drawing stinks!
You deserve the death penalty.
Another demerit.
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Oh! What's the meaning? Stop it!
Ah! Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right, but does this stop it?
Ah! The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence?
You're treading on thin ice, Wright.
Get him.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility.
No. Ah!
He's a dummy.
Order, order, order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gantz. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie.
Hmm.
I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's? Could there have been one? I mean, there could have been another one, but it's, it's not very definitive.
I have the guide open. But I'll never
I would just guess that there is another one, personally. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
Mr. Wright?
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife? If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. My attorney's badge.
I did it. I'm the real killer.
No, someone took my badge. It was missing that.
I'm thinking this.
This might work.
Cause the hell, the whatever thing ain't there no more.
Yeah, let's...
So the
Oh,
guide
that's
specifically says to present that picture from the past.
Oh,
Where you
that was
can
my
see it in
other
full form.
theory.
But like, you're right. You've got the right idea.
Yeah. There's a broken sword. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past.
It's a phantom.
Right here inside this picture.
This is
Actually-
a picture of the awards ceremony. Ah!
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's the broken murder weapon. Maybe.
Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding?
That's a broken knife.
Halbert.
Yeah, it's a broken halberd, but as we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award.
Yes.
I agree. Order, order, order.
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. Knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife.
Albert.
It's a halberd. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. All right then. This broken knife halberd was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
Scenario.
All right.
I'm sorry, I had my fun. But that can't be.
Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors award knife was the murder weapon, Albert, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh. Whoa!
Ha I got him!
Yeah, that's crazy talk.
But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here?
I don't know.
Seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
I do that.
Unless.
Wait! I remember now! I remember everything. The luminol is finally kicking in.
Oh no.
I think it's leaving your system.
No, that can't be.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it?
you're cute. Tee.
Oh, blushes.
Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
No, can't do that.
His list? The one that the picture scribbled on the back, and his phone number is?
No!
Yeah, I'ma stalk you. I knew it. This picture?
Hold on.
What?
Sorry,
I'm
I
the one
thought-
who drew it.
I thought someone knocked on my door.
Hi.
Okay. It was the blue badger.
What?
Oh, that does work.
You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. I should sue them for using my design. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget the blue badger. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Makes sense.
Perhaps it'd be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky?
Yeah, Your Honor.
When Phoenix said the drawing stinks, he meant that part. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This should be interesting.
Can you tell us about the collection?
When I saw that man raise his knife, I picnicked and rushed toward both of them.
Oh.
I think I knocked away the man with the knife. But just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw a shadow.
This is, certainly most unusual. Okay.
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Paradox.
Yes, well, the defense may... Oh, stop it!
Stop! Please! Don't pursue this any further.
Lana.
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair outside.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky.
That's me.
We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
Seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter.
Who's this bailiff?
So wait, is it like the Fae sisters? Can she just turn into her sister on a whim?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's multiple personalities you never noticed till now. Duh.
That would explain why Gant showed up too.
When I saw that man raise his knife,
When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Mama? Haha. I mean Joe Dark.
yeah, at least I think it was.
You think?
Therefore I am. All I could really see were shadows.
The power outage that immediately proceeded from the incident, is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports.
So then you...
I picnicked and rushed toward both of them.
Putting sandwiches in both of their hands.
Please pass the potato salad.
Ruggles, Ruggles.
I gave them both butter knives.
It was a mistake.
Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall on an empty stomach.
She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife.
But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know what at the time. When the dark guy, he knocked me down, all I could think was, I've gotta help the other person. I think I knocked him away, the man with the knife.
What do you mean you think?
Therefore I am.
Oh, okay.
It all happened so fast, I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it was kind of all a blur.
Miss Sky was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. Yes. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
I saw that man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next?
Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger.
Are you sure about this?
Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him there.
Is that the bite of 87?
The bite!
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. Kill the beast! The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I've seen him before somewhere. The knife! Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother. Just when you thought this thing had caused enough commotion.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face, with its winning smile and all?
That blue badger of all places.
Shadow.
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns. Okay.
No. This is pointless. Horns. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago.
Maybe you need to start pointing then.
It's broken.
Broke
I
his
didn't want to put
pointer.
a cast on it. It would be embarrassing.
He points and just droops.
Impossible! The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation.
Time travel.
I don't like it. I'm not playing any more Kingdom Hearts.
No.
If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger, really?
I remember this one.
I just might know. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow.
Shadow.
Kill the humans.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Rude. Mr. Wright?
No, it's not me.
Oh.
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger look like. And don't use the guide, I know you can figure it out.
I don't have it open, and I legit am not sure what you're thinking of.
Oh, I already know.
I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Okay, then let's let Mr. Taff figure it out.
Oh my god!
Actually. Woo. Okay, now that I get a second look at it, I'm like, maybe not. I was thinking maybe the vase.
Now I'm looking at it, yeah, the little knobs on the horns is very peculiar.
What? You mean this?
Maybe a little bit. Yeah,
Something like that?
yeah, that seems right to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
the mysterious blue badger was in fact this.
But that's... what exactly is that?
It's got a picture, so that's how you know it's correct.
Yep.
I believe it's some sort of jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Idiot.
Well, let me finish.
No.
It contains the soul of the blue badger.
Oh! When it broke, it escaped and created a mascot for the police department.
Oh.
If you rub it 3 times. Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
Our viewpoint? Do I need to rotate my DS?
Yeah, get your hashtag Nintendo DS stylus ready.
Oh boy, I can't wait to evolve the Squidmon.
Yeah, Squidman.
It's kind of like that.
No, that's not it.
Oh, I can rotate it. Okay,
You
good.
gotta make it upside down, I think.
Like
You
this.
also, yeah, like that. Except maybe like have the back a little bit further up. Yep, there you go. Well,
Too far. Now you've ruined it.
I'm sorry, I'm not good at rotating pottery. That looks
but
pretty
it's
good.
so easy with your hashtag Nintendo DS stylus.
What?
Alright, that's just weird.
Allow me to remind the defense that the case hinges on the witness's drawing, which is pretty bad.
Oh.
If Mr. Wright can't match the shape the witness drew, which you almost did, we cannot accept this claim.
I've got to find just the right angle.
I thought it was a cute.
Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more or horizontally.
Come on, Mr. Wright. You could do it, hashtag DS.
Gotta show them the correct angle.
What's inside? Oh, there's a hole.
There
Not
it
a
is.
very good face.
Neat. Maybe it's like this.
Maybe could be, but it doesn't seem like it. But
I mean, yeah.
because we gotta have the
Just see the picture of the blue badger, just getting slightly more evil as time passes.
its eyes get a little bit more red.
That's pretty close, right?
Yeah, I thought you totally had it like that first time. Maybe make the...
Yeah, that-
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess that's
No!
isn't right. I've got to make it look more like the. Okay.
Hey, that was really close, but I'm not coming.
No, idiot, like the blue badger.
Moran.
It has to line up with the silhouette 100%.
What is this, a Mario Party mini game? No!
Let me check the guide.
Use the vertical adjustment on the jar to face the fat end toward you. Then have the two handles point roughly to the northeast and the northwest. Then tilt the jar slightly down to resemble the blue badger's head. Then present it.
Here, well, that one's a little...
So we're doing it right. We're just not 100%.
It seems like it.
There we go.
Okay.
It just had to be lower.
Extremely stupid. Bad game design. Bad hashtag Nintendo DS.
The PSP didn't have this problem.
No, it they don't make them like they used to. Well, is this a miracle or what? We got it to work.
Right?
No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger.
Oh, he did it.
It can't be. It cannot be.
Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Oh, okay.
No. I denied it twice and it worked the third time. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask, like, why the jar would be lying down at such a weird angle for it to cast a shadow. But this saves me time. What do you mean?
So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth, as usual.
Ha!
You see, this changes everything.
Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know that witness saw this jar?
Because there's a badger.
I don't have that option.
No.
You're a badger.
Stop badgering me.
Badger, badger.
Badger. Well, let's think about it.
Okay.
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Could it just be the location, like wherever the jar was?
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to think, because we found most of the pieces in the evidence locker room, but like not all of them.
Okay.
And the other piece that we found was in that office.
Okay.
So I don't feel like it's a location issue, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna have to do something.
it just doesn't make sense to me why the problem would be the murder weapon or the murderer, so
This is the leaping to conclusion you guys were talking about.
leaps and bounds.
So, like, I think I know how this case goes, but I don't know the logic to this.
Yeah, I really don't know anything about this.
Take your best guess.
My said location, personally.
Okay, what about you, Mr. CMP?
Well, my CMP detects an EMT.
Ooh.
I guess the location. Just
Two
'cause
for
I can't
location.
really- Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Angel.
No.
It can be your angle or your devil, Edgeworth. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
No, you. I mean,
Got him.
yes, and these two facts that reveal... And it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office.
Are you implying the murder moved the victim's body?
Sure, why not?
From Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office, which are in the same room, I might add.
I know it's extremely far-fetched, but hear me out.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
No.
Well, Seymour, you're a fine fellow. But you steam
But I
good
must
hair.
say, you make a good martyr. Exactly.
Oh,
If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
If I don't, I'm gonna make something up real quick.
Just give me a moment.
Finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though.
Smoking, right?
it's tough.
Please. It's a hard knock life. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
Oh, well, that would have been ghosts? I mean, the impact the man made when he was knocked to the wall? I guess we're just guessing now.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more.
Hi.
If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
The suit of armor! Holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword!
Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had... I'm losing it. He would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
No. Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
I'm going there.
Therefore I am.
Yes. There's another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oops.
Uh-oh. It poked him right in the bum.
The 3 frames, just oh.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's like it's like Game and Watch. That's what it looked like.
This is pretty good. That's only a 3-frame jab.
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No!
Now she died because of me.
Another one for the list.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. Whoa.
Where'd she go? She's gone. What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Stop biting your thumb. It's bad for your teeth.
I'm gonna have to put more bandages on there.
It's bad for your thumb.
Imagine that, coming from you. Oh. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
Yeah, she pushed me and I died.
Yep.
I cast Speak with Dead. We certainly can't get dead people to testify.
It's happened before, though.
Yeah, it's true. This is specifically why Maya isn't here for this case.
Be cheating.
This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Humph. Touche, Miss Sky.
Touchy.
No. You should be unconscious. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean, the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another.
That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence.
Oh?
This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Yes.
Oh.
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky.
Oh.
Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek.
Cocoa Pebbles.
The truth.
Oh.
I have to kick you myself?
I'm still unconscious. Bleh.
No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
It's
Is
my
it-
attorney badge.
Yeah. Is it this thing?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It would make sense. The dark red stains must be blood traces from the incident 2 years ago. Only the fragment found in Chief Gant's office still has lines remaining on it.
Makes sense to me. Let's do it.
This is the message left by the deceased.
This is that blue badger from before, right?
Oh, is he just going to speak the killer's name?
If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Ugh.
Gumshoe!
Ah.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
Was the implication that Phoenix was just holding that, like, the whole time?
The jar.
So it looked like...
It's like, look at the jar.
just to make it look like the badger.
Do you see it? It's heavy.
I'm just gonna carry this the entire time, I guess. If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yet there's a line here drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is these dots were once lines.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points.
Luminol.
Well, I was gonna get to that, but
Oh.
and the victim's message will become apparent.
No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer.
It just says BRB.
Oh.
Yep. It says Maya.
Oh, not again.
Oh shoot! Not
I
again.
believe for a while, Mr. Wright. I'll see you later.
Oh, I can already see it.
I've got to connect these lines. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances, smiley face. His murderer's name.
Yeah, connect the dots.
How far can I go with this? Can I just... Yay! I can do that.
You just ruined the evidence. It's broken now.
He's doing this with red marker. Just like,
Perfect.
Ah,
yeah.
There we go. Oh, we can do that one too. And it's a pony.
Wow. They would write that.
What do you think? I came up with this message.
Yes. I feel like I'm teaching handwriting to a student who is all thumbs.
I think you should make him write out, "I won't do it again" 100 times. Also the death penalty.
I never was much good at handwriting. Guess we'll check the court record. And also hope that he is not gonna give me the death penalty.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Please draw it right this time. Get it?
Wright's my first name. It's my last name.
What?
I'll get right on that.
I guess we go.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, that's a weird E.
Emo.
An emo did it. Does this look right?
It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this.
Emma. Emma. Someone said it.
The jar said it.
Oh, it did say it. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
It really is Maya all over again.
Would someone stop flashing the lights already? Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
Was Emma Sky.
No!
Objection?
Da-da-da-da-da.
Seaworthy. Can't say I didn't warn you.
Chief Gant.
You understand the implication of what you've done.
What? What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not?
Ah!
Yes, were they? Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. No.
None of that. Edgeworth is just like choking himself.
Yeah.
But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
Look at my hair. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We are defenders of justice.
Then what have I been doing this whole time?
You were doing wrongly, obviously. We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. And if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately, responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge.
Oh, that was me.
Despite what anyone may say, the fact cannot be denied. Thanks for agreeing with me.
What's going on, please, Scooty's office? He's got a cool haircut.
Doria!
Doria! Order! Order! Order!
He pulled a muscle. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears.
Rude.
Can't believe the judge would hit someone like that.
Order! 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 Order!
A deaf guy, no less.
He should be in Smash.
Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows.
To be continued.
Bow, bow. Are you sure you want to save?
No.
Yeah, I definitely think that all of the things that just happened are very good and that we want to save our progress.
Okay.
No, he was sarcastic.
No, he said it. I heard him, and we're going through with
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Emma's a freaking murderer.
I knew it. You could see it with the way she drank luminol.
True, though.
The luminol made her do it.
Awful.